Welcome to Tabletop Gaming with Juice. Today, I am talking about something that I've seen people discuss in the community that I think they put too much weight into it. And what I'm talking about is the social contract. Now, I've seen Nerdarchy discuss this. I've seen a few other people discuss this. Now, some people say they don't do it. Bullcrap. Everybody has a social contract, and that goes for all facets of life. You might not spell it out, but you have a social contract with people. Um, for example, I'll use RPGs as our platform. So if you're posting in a group that you're looking for up to 5 players and you're going to use a specific system, that right there is part of a social contract. You're spelling out how many characters you're looking for to play and the system you're going to use mechanically. That's probably as broad as your social contract will go, but it can be as specific as telling people your exact house rules and all of that, right? And that's all something you just laid out in one post before anybody's even accepted to game. Another kind of thing that will happen is you might say, hey guys, do you want to play D&D? And people say yes. Okay. So there's a social contract. They've agreed to play in your game right there. It's a verbal commitment to play. You guys come together to build your characters, and they ask, oh, well, are we doing the array? Are we doing point buy? Are we doing 4d6, drop the lowest, 3d6, 3d6, reroll ones and twos? All of that is part of your social contract. Now, you might say something like, oh, well, we're doing 3d6 straight down the line. They might break the social contract, and it's up to you how to handle them breaking your social contract. Now, other things you might say as part of your social contract before ever playing a game, and I mean, you don't even normally spell a lot out. I've played a lot of games and ran a lot of games where it's not spelled out, but there's always, in every single game, 100% of games out there, there was a social contract. I'm just stating that right now. And all that is a verbal agreement of what's expected or what the rules are, you know? Even if the rules are just, hey, we're using Pathfinder for our system or Palladium for our system. That is still, you're setting a guideline, a precedence for the game. And it's just a very broad way of saying it. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but maybe I'll come back around to it. But so when someone breaks the social contract, then you have consequences, right? Some DMs will just chalk it up in the back, in the background and say, okay, he clearly is fudging rolls, or he clearly didn't build his character to what I said, because there's no way he got, 4 18s, a 15, and a 12 for his stats. All sorts of things like that, right? So that they broke the social contract right there, and it's a matter of how you handle it. And some penalties might be worse than others. Some might just be hey, we're not allowing that ability or that spell in this game. Oh, well, you didn't say that before. Yeah, I forgot to spell it out in the beginning, but we're not using that, so can you pick a different spell? That could be one way to do it. So then you're creating the social contract right then that this spell is not allowed in this campaign, or these races are or are not allowed. And how in depth you go is up to you, but it's not something that you sit down and you say, okay, guys, what's the social contract? It's more of someone sits down and says, okay, what are the rules and what can I expect from your campaign? Now, some DMs will know exactly what their campaign is going to be before the players even make characters. Other DMs might not know what the campaign's going to be until after. That's all, determined later anyway. Or that's all up to the DM, not determined later. But if it's one of those things that the DM knows the campaign, he's the one driving the social contract, because he might say you can or can't use this. If he doesn't know until after character creation, For example, my Anvil Ringers session 0, then you might get ideas from the players. So then the players are helping drive the social contract. For example, you might ask your players, what kind of campaign do you like? Do you want a lot of social intrigue? Do you want a lot of combat? Do you want it very political? What do you want? You're now asking the players what they want as part of the social contract. So one of them might say, oh, I really love puzzles. And as a DM, you might think to yourself, oh, I'm not very good at puzzles. But you might tell them, I'm not great at puzzles, but I will try to put in puzzles for you. That's part of the social contract. I know Dave said that in his, I'm from Nerdarchy, I think he said in a video that he doesn't do a social contract. Yes, you do. You just don't know you do. You don't have to necessarily say, hey guys, let's work out a social contract. But anytime you're setting parameters for the game, that is part of the social contract. Obviously, it's not necessarily binding or anything like that. And how you guys handle breaking the social contract is, group by group basis. Some people have an unofficial social contract that they always have. For example, power gamers. Some people refuse to play with power gamers, if they have a power gamer in their group, they will find a way to get rid of that power gamer. And that is because they're in violation of the DM's social contract. A lot of times a player will just quit because another player is a power gamer. Hey, that's how they handled the social contract. A lot of it could have been avoided by them stating what their social contract would be up front. But a lot of people don't come out and actually spell that out. And I think that's important that you do that. I think it's better to lay the foundation of what you expect from a game as a group. And what I mean by that is you have 5 players. Each person should state what they want and don't want from the game before you start playing. That's it. Simple as that. It can be handled at character creation. It's really simple. Again, for a good example of that, go to my session 0 where I asked the players what they wanted from the campaign. I had no idea what I was really going to do with them, and I just knew the part of the world I wanted them in, and that was it. So with that said, don't overcomplicate things, guys. I see it happen every day in our community. People are like, oh, well, you need to have a sit-down discussion about a social contract. No, you don't. I've played in plenty of games that are fine without spelling everything out to a T. So, yeah. And if you're somebody who says, oh, you don't have social contracts, bullcrap, yes, you do. It's as simple as just stating what system you're using and what your character creation rules are. Every time a rules debate comes up, you guys make a social contract. You make a ruling as a group. Maybe the DM has final say, but ultimately, you guys make a decision on the ruling. And that's part of the social contract. Whether you're going with what the book says or going with what you guys think makes more sense or what you think is more balanced, whatever, that is part of a social contract. That's it. It's just a verbal agreement on how to handle something. And, a lot of times it's the guidelines. So with that said, I hope that helps you guys understand what a social contract actually is in relation to RPGs. A lot of people, I think, have gotten hung up on this like it's this big ordeal that you need to sit down and spell everything out to a T. And it's not. It doesn't have to be like that. But it is important to know your group, what they expect, what they want, what they don't want is probably just as important, if not more important, than the other stuff. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. My next video will probably be about campaign session zeros and what I think makes a good session 0 and all of that. So be sure to watch that. That should be up probably shortly after this video. So thank you very much. Talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.